So hi guys, welcome to the live session, and we are going to discuss about what is open source and what is hackathon and what is going in the October month. And yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now, and hopefully you can see my screen. Okay, so we are going to discuss about what is this GitHub account is all about and how you can contribute to the open source. And this live session is not going to be a very lengthy one. It's going to be a very short one, maximum for 30 to 45 minutes. And it will be very straightforward. And we will be talking about how you can contribute to GitHub and Hacktoberfest. And we have our special guest on the wait list, and I will be adding him to the live session in a while. Now, before getting started with the guest speaking session, I would like to show you some idea about what is GitHub and what is this open source thing is all about. So you will be getting some insight when the speaker is going to talk about the Hacktoberfest, which is happening in the October month, right? So this is my GitHub account looks like, and you can see, it is kind of well maintained right now, and it was not like that before. So if you don't have a GitHub, I really suggest you to go to github.com and create a GitHub account for you. Now, it's a very straightforward procedure, and if you don't know how to get started, I would really recommend you guys to go to recodehive.com and go to the GitHub. So here I have pasted almost all the GitHub tutorials for your ease. Now, you can use that for learning from the scratch to a high level, even hosting your website for free in the GitHub platform, right? So yeah, that's it. You go here straight away and create a GitHub account. That's it. Now, when it comes over here, this is a very basic README file over here. You don't have to worry about anything. Now, over below, you can see all your contribution in the GitHub. It can be your private repository. It can be your public repository. So every time when you do a commit, you will be able to see it over here. Now, I will be showing a real-time demo. What is this GitHub thing does, right? Now, and here you can see a notification banner over here, where if you are contributing to an open source community, then you will be able to see all the discussion over here, and you will get a inbox similar to email, where they will let you know whether there is an error in your commit history or not. And the same goes for here. You can see whether your project is assigned for you or whether somebody is mentioning you in the GitHub platform or not. Now, that's it. Right now, a brief idea of GitHub. And before starting to the next section, I would like to show you one sample demo of how the thing is working over here. Now, you can see a Record Hive organization over here. And if you would like to join this organization, I would really recommend you to drop a mail to my email ID, which I have listed over here. Drop an email to me asking to join my GitHub organization, and where you can come and do a lot of contribution on web development or something. Now, for your understanding, you can see there is some HTML work which I have done in 2013. I have uploaded over here. Now, this is a very simple HTML website which I only used HTML and CSS code to develop it. Now, I have uploaded this in my GitHub account. Now, what you generally do as a user is like, you come here, you copy any of the repository, and you go to your local file. For example, Python project is a small folder which I created for my local projects. Now, you can just type command prompt, and before that, make sure that you have Git installed in your system. And don't worry about if you have missed any of the things. You can always go here and you can find what you are missing it and how to install the Git in your system. Everything is explained over here. So I'm not going very much detail, but I'm going to show you how the thing is working for you. Now you can see I have cloned the repository URL from here, and this is web development 2013. And I'm coming to my local repository over here, and I open up my command prompt, and I'm typing git clone and the repository URL. So right away, what happening is like you can see that web development 2013 is installed in your system. Okay, it's still receiving the objects. It's a pretty huge file, maybe around 20 to 25 MB. So once it completely downloaded, you can see that file is over here. Now let's wait for this to get processed. Now you can see this has been completed. Now if I go to my repository, I can see a lot of files listed over here. Now the similar way, if somebody has developed a Instagram clone or Twitter clone or something like that, you can directly go to that repository in the GitHub profile and you can clone it in the same way, and you can open that particular website. So you can see it's a very basic, don't judge me on this. I have developed it in the year of 2013. So I have developed this particular website, and now you can see this is opening for me in my local repository. Now what we can do is, like, for example, I can just open this in my Sublime or any of the notepad file. Maybe I can just open in my Visual Studio Code, and I can just change the name of this particular file. For example, I can just say I can change this gallery, which, okay, I can just change the button called gallery to home over here. Yeah, now that's a change which I have made. Now if you open this particular, okay, now if I run this, you can see that particular change has happened over here, that home got changed instead of gallery, right? So now you can just directly push this into your GitHub repository and ask the original owner to merge the new feature which you have created. So that's all about GitHub repository, which I would like to say right now. And the similar way, we are going to create a lot of projects in this particular Recode Hive organization. And if somebody is watching this live stream, don't forget to drop me a mail at sanjay@recodehive.com, and where you will be getting access to this exclusive community, and you can start working on the contribution and open source contribution, and a lot of things is coming next. So that is something which I want to provide you a basic knowledge about what is GitHub and how it is working. Now I would like to invite our guest, Shivlal. He's a community lead at Hack Club, and he's pretty good at open source, all the stuff, and he has participated in Hacktoberfest of last year, and he has got some goodies from Hacktoberfest event. So he will be giving you more insight about what is this GitHub and why open source is so important, and a lot of stuff. So I hope you have got some idea about how the GitHub is working, and how to do and collaborate with other people. Now he will be explaining in detail how to push and how to do the commits into others repository. So I'm okay. I'm inviting Shivlal on the screen. Hi Shivlal.
Hey
Can you hear
Sanjay,
me? Yeah. Hi. How
yeah,
are
I
you
can
doing?
hear you. I'm doing fine.
Great.
What about you?
Great. And we have one more thing for the people who are really engaging with us in the comment box. We will be providing you a $25 ebook on data science interview guide, which will be a complete beginner data science tutorial for the beginners to get started. Yeah. So yeah, let's come back. So it's great to have you, Shivlal, over here, and I can see there are a few people on the live session right now. And yeah, so before getting started, I just want to ask you, how was the last year Oktoberfest event, Hacktoberfest event? Yeah.
Actually, that last year Hacktoberfest event was my first event. So, like you may know about that. If that is your first event, how much you nervous, like what
uh,
to do, how to do. So
exactly.
all that questions with my mind last year, but yeah, I got a little bit help with watching some like connecting with some communities, open source communities like GitHub, and also there are some many open source communities who promotes open source. So that was a
Okay.
great help last year in Oktoberfest.
Okay, great. So yeah, so do you think this open source is anybody can do the open source without even having no idea of doing the coding or something like that? If, for example, if I am first year student, and I have no idea about how to do the coding, can I participate in this open source contribution or open source field?
Yeah, definitely. You like as if you are a beginner, like if you are an advanced coder or like a programmer, you can also take part. And also, if you are like maintaining or creating, if you want to create some good projects, then you can also join open source is like a opportunity for everyone. Everyone can do contribution, everyone can learn from it. There are lots of learning opportunities, and there are lots of networking opportunities also, with like you can connect with open source project maintainers. That's a good thing you will find on the open source.
Okay, great.
So
Now,
like
before getting
yeah, yeah,
started, I just want to ask you one more question. Do you think collaborating to open source will give you more exposure or to get more job offer in your hand?
Yep. Actually, what is happening around this world? Like everyone is doing open source. Everyone is have a craze of doing some contribution or taking part in open source. Like starting contributing to any open source project. So suppose many of us know about GSOC, Google Summer of Code. So like if you are a first year student and you may heard about GSOC, then you definitely want to know about what is GSOC and how to contribute, how to start GSOC, how to prepare for GSOC. So yeah, thank you Sanjay for opening the site. So here is the GSOC's official site. So you will find more about Google Summer of Code on this site. What is GSOC? Like it is an open source, global event. You can say global program for anyone. Like if you are a beginner, you can also do start with GSOC. You can also do contribution. And there are like what does in GSOC, like there are multiple open source organizations. Open source organizations take part in GSOC, and and from all over the world, anyone can take part in this GSOC, and then they can contribute to any org or any org's projects. So like if I want to contribute to any project from this list, so like I want to contribute to like this, let me choose one, Django. So if I want to choose a Django project, and if I want to contribute to the Django project, I can just let me share. I think Sanjay. I think let me share my screen, so it will be more better for me. Okay.
Okay, sure, sure.
So is it visible?
Yep. It's visible right now.
Okay. Google Summer of Code. Okay. So this is the official site of Google Summer of Code, and like if you want to find some projects where you can start, you can just go to this project section, and you will find all the projects listed, last year projects, and many, like you can find all year projects like 2019, 2020. And if you want to find projects by organization, you just have to click on organizations, and you will find all the orgs here. So suppose I want to like I'm a Python developer. I'm currently working on Python, so I'm going to do some stuff in Python. So Django is a Python framework, so I want to contribute to Django. So like I can choose Django from here, and I can check their idea list for new project ideas. And I can also check their previous projects, like somebody worked on the previous project, what they did in last year, what the changes they did in last year. So I can check all the things, and I can also chat with them, like like if you have any doubts, like where to start, where to contribute, I can do that by just chatting, doing a chat with them. And I can also find future projects by just clicking on this open source, this view idea list. So you will find all their projects, 2021 projects and all. And also you will find mentors here. So this is all about GSOC, but we are not talking about GSOC. We are talking about Hacktoberfest. So GSOC is a like little bit advanced version of Hacktoberfest. It is like a competition. GSOC is like competition. You can count it like of competition, but Hacktoberfest is not a competition. So let me close the screen. Okay, let's start with a presentation so that we will get an idea how to contribute and how what is this Hacktoberfest. Okay, so first of all, we will know about what is open source. Maybe most of you know about open source, what is open source, and most of you have idea about that. But let's start with the beginning. So how many like we know about open source? Open source is not just a word. It is like short word of open source softwares. So open source software it provides a code accessibility. It provides a code that can publicly accessible. So you can access any open source project's code publicly. You can see that code, you can modify that code, and also you can change the code, and you can also add a feature request for that code or project. Suppose like if I want to give some example, so there are lots of
I think it's
alternative of WhatsApp.
sorry to interrupt you. I think it would be something similar to what I have showed in the initial 5 minutes. For example, I have developed
Yeah,
a website and you can download that code from the GitHub and you can make
yeah,
some changes which I have shown you in the beginning for changing the title or adding the new feature. And you can commit and push the pull request to the original author and or to the original code. So whether or the original author of that particular project will review your code and he will see whether the feature is good and there is no bugs in the code, and he will merge along with this the project, and he will release a new version to the community. So yeah, sorry for
yeah.
interrupting you. Yeah, you can take it.
No issues, no issues. Yeah, so like you explained it very deeply. So I think I don't need to explain it very. I don't need to go in very deep. But like I want to give some idea about what are the current open source projects that you can contribute. So like you can go to this site, opensource.google. If you want to see any open source Google projects, you can go to this site, and you will find lots of Google open source projects. Like Angular is there, and Go language is there. If you want to contribute to Go, you can choose Go. You can contribute to Angular. You can contribute to Kubernetes. There are lots of Google projects, open source projects that you can contribute. So, and there are also some projects with Microsoft. You can contribute to them. These are the Microsoft projects that I want to just show you. So for that, I just want to give you idea what are the current popular open source projects available that you can contribute. These are some Microsoft projects. Okay, now I just showed you all the open source projects. Now let's talk about Hacktoberfest. So what is Hacktoberfest? So Hacktoberfest is not a competition. Hacktoberfest is you can say it a celebration of open source. Like Hacktoberfest promotes open source. It is an event to promote open source in the developer community, so that everyone can contribute to open source and everyone know about it, what is open source and how to contribute to open source. So Hacktoberfest is all about contributing to open source and learning from changing someone's others projects, right? So if the first question that Sanjay asked me, can if a beginner can do open source. So yeah, open source is all about like all is for all, whether you are a beginner, whether you are active contributor, like you are contributing for 1 year, or you are contributing for very long time, you can do that. And if you are a maintainer, if you have a good projects and you want to put them into open source, you can also do open source. You can also take part in this Hacktoberfest. Okay, Hacktoberfest is all about is for all beginners, contributors, and maintainers. Now, where can Hacktoberfest take part? So you can do virtually. It is not specified that you have to go to some venue and do Hacktoberfest. You can just you just need a chair, some good Wi-Fi network, and laptop, and do your do contributing to open source project. And now let me go to some real stuff. So let me share my screen. Sorry, let me move to the official site. So this is Hacktoberfest official site. How to register? So registration is started and registration are still open. You can register here. Just go to hectoberfest.digitalocean.com and click on this button, start hacking, and you will find three steps. First step is by connecting your GitHub account with this Hacktoberfest. So just click on sign up. There are two options. You can go with GitHub, you can go with GitLab, but I will prefer that you can I will suggest you to go with GitHub, because GitLab is little bit advanced. So for beginners, just go with GitHub. Now it will ask you to authorize your GitHub account, so click on Authorize Hectoberfest. After that, it will ask you some details about you. You just have to put your details like email address and all. So I'm just putting my random email address. Don't mail me on this email address because it is not, I don't reply on that. So choosing my country, yep, India. And you can choose if you want to, if you are participating in this Hacktoberfest as a participant, just choose participant. If you are taking part as a maintainer, you can choose maintainer. Event organizer. Okay. And just I'm clicking on this to receive if any updates from DigitalOcean and all the sponsors. And next. Okay. And just the final step, start hacking. Cool. So my registrations for the Hacktoberfest is done, and I can see my profile. This is my community's profile. So it is listed here. So you can see total pull requests that I done during this Hacktoberfest, and total accepted pull requests that is accepted by the project maintainers. So currently I have both zeros, and also there are some resources where you can find projects. So the now question comes that where to find projects for this Hacktoberfest. So I have some resources to show you where to find projects. Let me go to the site. I have shared the site with Sanjay, so he will post the link in the chats. So this is the site where you will find all the projects that are currently participating in Hacktoberfest. Also, there is swags mentioned here. So like there are big projects like AppWrite, AppSmith, ArchiveSpace, AutoDL, Bridge Crew, Bitrace. These are some unknown names, but yeah, when if you start contributing to them, you will know about that. So let me choose any random project. Currently, I'm working on this Ligisher translation project, so I'm choosing it. So let me give you about this little bit intro about Ligisher. So what is Ligisher? Ligisher is a open source project which provides you a feature to translate your local language into programming language. So suppose you are typing something in Gujarati, and if you want to convert them or translate them into Python language, Ligisher will do that. So like there I type something kemcho in or like I like forgot that like I type karo print karo in Hindi, this. So it will be translated into Python by from Hindi to Python with the help of Ligisher. So this project is all about translating your local languages to the programming languages. Currently, it is available on Python. So there multiple language support will arrive in few years. So currently, it is only available in Python. So let's go to its repository. So I'm clicking learn more.
So I have provided the link of everything he has discussed in the comment box. So you can later come into the comment box and click on that link. So you will be redirected to the particular link particular screen which you are seeing right now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Sanjay, for post handling the comment section. Okay, and This is the official repository of Ligisher. Ligisher is also an organization. You will find all the Ligisher projects here by just clicking on the Ligisher. So there are multiple projects, like just Sanjay showed about Record Hive org, where Record Hive multiple projects. Same thing is with Ligisher. Ligisher have all the multiple projects. So like suppose I want to do contribute to Ligisher translation. So I'm going to choose this project, Ligisher translation. So in this Ligisher translation, what is happening is like it contains all the local languages. So you will find all the languages here which are currently available with Ligisher, like Gujarati, Hindi, Indonesian, Italian, Nepali, all the languages that are currently under development. These are the languages which are currently under development. So you can start contributing on this on or any language, any language. If you want to start with Gujarati, if you want to start with Hindi. But first of all, if you choose any open source project, keep remember to read their contributing guidelines. So any open source project which are participating to Hacktoberfest or any other GSOC competition or other open source competitions or other open source programs, they have their contribution guidelines. So must read that contribution guidelines. Here is the contribution guideline. So you will find how to contribute, how to start with. You will find all the things here, like how to start contributing. Here are the rules that you can create issues with. If you want to add a new language, like if you want to add Malayalam or if you want to add Tamil, you can create an issue. You can generate an issue to add a new language, and after, if a project maintainer approves, like assign you that issue, you can work on that. So let me show you how to create an issue. Like currently there are I think this is not the site. Wait, just give me a minute. So currently there are Hindi and Gujarati, and also Telugu is here. Yeah, also Telugu is here. So suppose I want to add a new language, Malayalam or Tamil. For that, I just have to create an issue. I just go to issues. You will find all the issues here which are tagged as Hacktoberfest. So for any project, you can create a issue and work on that, or if there are available issues, you can also work on that. So suppose I don't want to create a new issue. I want to work on the remaining issues or the already created issues. Like I want to work on this. There are issues like wait a minute. I want to work on this Gujarati issues. They need a reviewer for reviewing Gujarati translation. So I want to work on that issue. So what I do, I just read the description of all the description of this issue, what they need, what are the conditions they need for reviewing. So I need to read this whole issue, and after that, if this issue suits me better, that I can contribute to this issue or I can do better in this issue, I just have to ask the project maintainer that I want to work, like I want to work. You just have to message the project maintainer that I want to work on this issue. And project maintainer will assign you this issue, but that will take some time because some projects are not based on India, so that will take some time by getting a reply from the project maintainer. So you just have to write that I want to work on this issue, and project maintainer sees your request for working, and they will assign you the issue, and then after you can start working on that. Okay, so this was all about issues, right? And if you want to, if you like, after you assign the issue, like like I was assigned last year, I was assigned to review Gujarati language and add Gujarati translations for Python. So the project maintainer assigned me this issue, and what I did, I just after assigning me issue, I just fork the repo. So what the fork will create the same copy of the repo. You can say clone of the repo into your GitHub account. So you can see that this Ligisha translation repo is here. It is in my account. Now I have the clone of the original repo. First, always check fetch and upstream. What is this fetch and upstream? Fetch and upstream is if there is any changes made recent on the original repo, like Ligisha translation have some changes that just made 2 hours ago. So you have to do fetch and merge. So what it will do? It will merge all the recent changes. After that, you have to clone this repo to your local computer. So I just need a Git bash. For that, I need a Git. I think Sanjay also explained about how to. Sanjay have some blogs where you can find how to install Git and how to install GitHub. So Sanjay will share you the blogs links so you can get an idea how to install Git. After
So I have
installing Git,
shared a blog. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you. I have shared the blog link over here. So before getting started with Git in your local system, you should have a Git installed in your Windows or Mac or Linux or OS, whichever OS you are using. So it's a detailed guide on how to install that. So make sure that you have installed it, and then further you can proceed what step Shivlal is mentioning right now. Yeah, go ahead, Shivlal.
yeah. Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. So after installing Git, you will find some softwares like Git Bash and some other Git softwares. From that, you have to choose Git Bash because Git Bash is suitable for doing some cloning and all the process. More suitable because you will find it handy. So after first step is forking the repo that you want to work on. Second step is cloning it. I think Sanjay showed you how to clone. So I'm just typing the code git clone and the command club sal literature translations. Don't forget to add .git at last because sometimes you forget that and it will create a mess. Sorry, I need to change my folder. So I'm changing my folder, desktop, cd. Okay. I'm doing it in my desktop's React app projects. So I'm cloning the repo in this folder. Unable. I think there is some more issue. Let me check it. Wait, give me a second, guys. I will resolve it.
So meanwhile, I will share my screen and I will show them how to find an Hacktoberfest related repository. So you don't always have to go with the project which Shivlal has mentioned. There are a couple of project which is available. All you need to do is like you can go to uh, GitHub. You can click over here. So this is basically a dashboard. A GitHub homepage looks like, and here you can see all the people you're following. For example, you can see Eddie over here. So he's the person I follow. So you can see Shivalal over here. You can see what he's currently working on, and you can clone his repository or whatever you want to do. So in order to get this particular screen and to get the what others are doing, you have to come here and you have to follow the respective people. So there will be a follow button over here, and you can see how many followers you have. It's pretty similar to how the Instagram followers work. Now you can go here and you can start searching some project. Maybe I can search something related to Google. If you search here, you can
Okay.
see a lot of code available over here. And now you can just go to any of the repository. For example, you can see some of the repository which is Google research is available over here. Now you should always look at the label called Hacktoberfest. So if you are pulling a repository which is not relevant to Hacktoberfest label, then even if you commit a good quality thing, you won't be getting the swag or recognition from the. You will be getting the recognition, but you won't be getting the goodies in your home. So make sure that if you're working for goodies, then make sure that the label is over here. For example, the project which Shivlal has mentioned, you can see that it has labeled as Hacktoberfest event. So make sure that you contribute a quality changes to the project. So they will be evaluating you based on the contribution. So if your contribution is just changing the word from that to a, it is not going to work like that way. So make sure that you have done some good contribution, even in the documentation level. If you're not good at the coding, so make sure that you do the contribution. That's it. I'm giving to Shivla right now.
Okay, so issue is resolved. What was actually happening is like, is my screen visible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what was actually happening? Like, I added a wrong URL. So please check the URL when you clone any repo. So I added a wrong URL, so it was not cloning. Now it's cloned. Repo is cloned. Now let me go to the folder, and you can see our project is here. Our repo is here. Now let me open it into our VS Code.
Do we already need to or always need to use Visual Code, or if I'm comfortable with Sublime or other text editor, can I work in that? Or
Yeah, you can
which is the
choose any editor, but I mostly prefer VS Code because it gives me lots of features to it gives me a lot of features to push and pull my changes from directly to the editor. So like
okay.
VS Code gives you this feature source control. From there you can directly push and pull your changes, and you don't need to git bash, or you don't need to type any git commands for push and pull. So VS Code gives you lots of comfort by whenever you're working on any open source projects. Yeah, you can use Atom also. Atom also provides the same thing. You can use Atom. Atom also provides the same thing. It also gives you feature of push and pull.
So I have
Currently, it is
provided
taking some
you the
time.
link of Visual Studio Code in the comment box. So if you have not used Visual Studio and you have to follow the same step which Shivlal is repeating, make sure that you have downloaded that software and installed in your system. Yeah, that's it. Carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is taking some time. Till then, I will explain you some one new topic which is called as branching. What is branching? So you can see that there are so many branchings here. You can see Gujarati, Hindi. There are so many branchings of this project. So what is branching? So suppose you and your team is working on some open source project. So what branching gives you, like branching gives you a feature or a service where a software developer team can work on same source code, and they can exchange the changes without without directly huddling the original code. So you can create a separate branch. Like if you want, you have 10 members working on different part of software, so you can create 10 branches. Everyone can work on different part of projects. Like there is a website, someone is working on navigation bar, there is a website, someone is working on the footer or header. So they can create a separate branch, and they can directly work on the branchings. You have to create a branching, so that there are so many branchings for the languages also here in this project. So that's the concept of branching, and it is also helpful to solve conflicts. If you work on branching, then there will be less conflicts when you make a pull request. Okay, I think the VS Code, does it works? Yeah. So my project is here. You can check it that all the files are here. Now, suppose I want to work on some branch. I can go to source control. I can choose branch. I can see all the branches here. Currently, I'm working on Hindi branch, so my branch is here listed here. If I want to change the branch, you can just click on this button. You will be switched to the another branch. So that's the beauty of VS Code. Why I love VS Code? Why whenever I want to work on open source,
Even I
so you
love the VS Code. It's very easy to
yeah,
use, and a lot of features, as you mentioned.
yeah. So it's the beauty of VS Code that you don't need to type any single Git command to work on any open source project. So like these are my reviews that I made on any language. So code is here, and I switched to the Hindi branch, and now I can work on some project. So like I'm working on this, I'm making some changes here. Don't like I want to give advice to all of the listeners of this stream that don't do Hacktoberfest for swags. Like don't Hacktoberfest swags are just for motivations. Swags are just for motivation. So anyone who needs the motivation to do Hacktoberfest, swags are for those people. So Hacktoberfest, don't do Hacktoberfest for swags. There are lots of learning from this Hacktoberfest. You can, I'm showing this project, why I choose this project, because this is very easy for beginners. If you want to start with open source, you can do this kind of projects where translation help is needed. So you can also learn how Git works, and you can also contribute to some project. So that will make you make you some expert level, not expert level, that will make you to motivate more to contribute more coding projects. So this is a beginner level project. Like I'm making a change, small change. I reviewed the translation, and I want to make a comment on this. Then that abstract is a, if I think that abstract is a good translation of Hindi, then I can comment.
Is that your GitHub username?
Yeah, this is my GitHub username. You can follow me on GitHub.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. Actually, that's not all. Just making a star, making a tick, and adding your adding your GitHub ID, because the reviewing process for this project is little bit different. So I'm just showing you. I just made a change here. Now I just have to save it. Okay, so I saved the changes, and my changes are listed here. And now from here I have to stage the change. So what is staging? The staging process, staging process makes your changes to another level where you can directly commit your changes, and you can directly push your changes. This is the staging process, and from here you can directly commit. Just click on this tick, and you can now add your change description, like added new review, added new Hindi review. Okay, enter, and it will take some time. Okay, now I have to do push. As Sanjay explained you that what is push and pull. Push is just transferring your change from your local computer to your online computer, like online repo, and pull is for transferring your online like online repo changes to your local repo. So there are two versions of your repo available. One is at online on your GitHub account, and second one is at your local computer. So push and pull are useful for transferring changes between them. So now I push the changes. Let me go back. Let me go to the my repo. If I refresh the page, I can check that I made some changes here. Uh, just have to look for in the translation. So you can see that my latest commit is here, that I added some Hindi translation. And after changing something, you just have to click a pull request to show the project maintainer that you made some changes. So I'm going to create a new pull request. pull request is for that, like you are showing the project maintainer that you did some changes to the project, and you want to show the changes to the project maintainer. So currently, I think there is some issues. Just give me a second. Just give me a minute.
Yeah. So meanwhile, the people who are watching right now, you can get the entire GitHub tutorials over here on my website. And I just want to give some giveaway to you all people who are watching it on the live. I'm going to give away this book. If you are into data scientist or any kind of technical domain, I think this book is going to helpful for you. So this is a like currently $25 priced book. So I'm going to give you the book for free. You can go to this particular website. Link in there is in the comment box. Yeah, link is there in the comment box. You can go there and you can just enter the coupon code as read code, where you will be able to get the book for free. And you can just click on I want this. Now enter your email ID. For example, you can give this email ID, keep the coupon code as read code, and it will let you to check out, get the ebook for free. And this is only for the people who are watching it on the live stream. And for the people who are not watching it on the live stream, maybe you're watching it after the live stream, enter the coupon code as recode 50 to get it for the half of the price. So that's it. This is the coupon code which I have mentioned, and here is the link of the uh, website. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I hope Shivalal is on back right now. Um, how is going, Shivalal? Okay, there is some issue with Shivalal, I believe. So what? Okay. Meanwhile, I will just tell you some more information regarding the thing. So make sure that you're doing a good quality contribution to the Hacktoberfest, and make sure that you're getting the goodies straight away into your home. And for the people who are watching this, if you are not sure, even right now, if you're not sure how to get started, make sure that you follow my blog articles, which will give you a good insight about how to get started with the GitHub and all. And make sure that you join my organization, where we will do some open source contribution. And you can join. Just send me an email to this particular email ID, sanjay@recordhive.com. Just show your interest to join this community, and I will be adding you. And you can see there are currently 2 people. I'm just started this right now. So that's it. I think there is some technical connectivity issue from Shivalal's side right now. And make sure that develop a outstanding GitHub profile, because this is very important if you are applying for a job in technical domain or something, because they will look at you what the projects which you have done. For example, you can see all the projects which I have done, and how is your good contributions going on. Even by looking at your streak, they will get to know whether you're faking your technical experience or not. And that's why GitHub is so much important these days, and people look at your LinkedIn profile and GitHub. And definitely I will be providing you a good live stream session on how to maintain your GitHub profile in a pretty good way. And yeah, that's it. I think yeah, Shivalal has provided you more insight about how to start with Hacktoberfest. And make sure you start with Hacktoberfest and eventually upgrade to Google Summer of Code, which is a great platform to collaborate with different organizations. And this has been covered through the entire session. And that's it. Make sure that you follow all the guidelines. And one more thing is, like, before selecting the project, make sure that you have the label called Hacktoberfest to proceed. So that's it, I have to say. And if you have any kind of queries regarding how to proceed further with Hacktoberfest, feel free to reach out me or Shivalal later. So our ID is there in the comment box. So that's it. And thank you for watching the live stream. And once again, if you have not sure how to receive the giveaway, just go here and you can see I want this content over here. Click over there. Enter the code as recode. which will get you this book for free. And this is just not for data scientists. This will give you proper insight about if you're going to a product management, or if you want to get some good idea about Python and visualization using NumPy and Pandas library. I think Shivalal is back. Maybe we can just have a yeah. Hi Shivalal.
Sorry,
I hope
sorry.
you had some terrible network connectivity issue.
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah, so it's fine. You have covered most of the thing how to get started with the GitHub and Hacktoberfest event, and I was winding up this session, and yeah, so I was winding up this session saying that okay, if any doubt in case of proceeding with this Hacktoberfest, let us know in the comment box, or else reach out to us. We have provided both of us social media account over there. And I just want to ask you one last question. How much contribution we have to get some swag swag from Hacktoberfest event? Is there any
Uh,
restrictions like that?
act- Actually, there is no restrictions. Like you have to make a 4 pull request. If you
Okay.
want to make a pull request on one project, you can go with it. You can make 4 pull requests in a single project. And if you want to
Okay.
make pull requests on multiple projects, you can make an on multiple projects also.
Okay.
And there
And
are some
how long
swag.
the
Not
event is
only
going to be?
this is 1 month long event. So if you are
Okay.
starting from now, you can also join in.
Okay. Got it. And you were saying something.
Yeah, so there are not only Hacktoberfest swags. There are like if you there are I just shared you Sanjay just shared you some swag list where all the swags are mentioned. Like if you contribute to some random project, they have a separate swags for all swags also. Like Apprite has some T-shirt and all this. So there are not only just Hacktoberfest swags, there are multiple swags. But as I just said, that don't do it for swags. Swags are just motivation. So do it for a good contribution and good learning.
Yeah, it's all about the starting thing. Once you start with open source and contributing to the others project, and you see that okay, your feature is listed on one particular website, then that's a beginning of something. And from later on, you won't be doing anything for swag. So I'm just repeating swag
Yeah,
in the case of if you are a complete beginner and just want some motivation to get started. So that's it,
yeah,
and thanks for coming, Shivalal, and giving an awesome session about how to start with Hacktoberfest. Yeah, we had
yeah,
a few people are still on the live stream. So thank you all guys for joining. And yeah, see you on the next live stream. Yeah.
yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Sanjay, for having me.
Yeah, sure. Bye bye.